Yeah, okay. Any views expressed are the opinion of the guest. That's not a representation because the programming reflects that Politickin with 4 eyes. It's really no competition. Suffocating with the dope. You know I be twisting. Real ninjas out in the field. Now we cotton picking. Not to mention our intention to cover topics and many of the subjects. I got more lines than the deli at the Publix. With King Pharaoh, PoPolitickin, I'm pistol whipping. Rappers jeopardizing hip-hop position, my opposition, intuition, prediction like writers on The Simpsons. To witness the glimpses from higher up dimensions. My bitches be fighting gremlins like Phoebe Cates. Let me cook, stovetop oven, easy bakes. Hydroponic with them seaweed flakes. Yeah, these rappers started from the bottom, power bottom. TD Jakes, unfollowed. Talking about have you ever been swallowed? Regardless of race, color, or creed, you get Apollo'd. We politickin, ticking, we straight politickin, ticking. When it's a great show, you got to listen. Listen to that politickin, ticking. This for the politickin, ticking. We straight politickin, ticking. When it's a great show, you got to listen. Listen to that politickin, ticking.
Welcome back to PoPolitickin.com, your home for self-help meets hip-hop. Right now, we're live on YouTube, Twitch, and X. Check me out on Spotify and Apple. 1212. I'm in the place to be with man. You doing a lot. You do more and more every time I talk to you. Now you got you're a DJ. I know you're a professor. You're a speaker, author. My dear friend Amani Roberts. How you doing, bro?
Doing well, Po. Thank you for having me back yet again. Appreciate it, and can't wait to chat.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I was saying, I was thinking about. I know we already talked a few times, but I was thinking last time we talked, we was talking about the DJs Mean Business. You had just did that book, and you was talking about the Quiet Storm book, and now it came to fruition. I know U.S. Times bestseller. I see you going on tours, doing your books. I was like, all right. But then I be smiling because when I was listening to the book on Audible.
Yeah.
When I listen to it, it kind of reminds me of Murph Day There, how you used to do the songs, just throw the little tidbits in there. So I always be like, man, it was like the precursor back then. He was so I was like, cool.
Yeah. You were there at the very beginning. I always give you credit on being the one to show me how to do a podcast. We was on GarageBand and doing things way back in the day. And here we are many years later, still at it.
Yeah, we still alive. That's the first thing, and we still at it.
Yes.
COVID was rough, so we made it through COVID in 16 years. I met you like 2008, so we've been, like I said, I see you keep growing and doing your thing, so you kind of make me want to keep going because I was like, well, you going, I'm gonna keep going. So when you stop, I'll stop. So you keep going, I'll keep going.
That's a deal.
All right. So before I don't want to jump right in the book yet. I want to kind of, before, if anybody new watching or listening, I want you to talk about your background a little bit. I know you're from DC, went to Howard, right?
Yes.
Let them know about your background a little bit and what's going on with you.
DC native. I grew up in Silver Spring, went to Howard University, and then I left and I grew up kind of working for Marriott hotels. So I worked at Marriott hotels all over the country, whether it be Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, Miami, back to DC, LA. So that's what I worked for Marriott. Then I retired, pursued DJing full time, went to Scratch Academy. Along the way at Scratch Academy, I started to be a professor at Cal State University, Fullerton. So I was DJing and teaching. Then I wrote the first book, DJs Mean Business. That came out April 2020, right at the beginning of the pandemic. And then I went to Berklee College of Music to get my master's degree in music business. Finished that in December 2021. Then I wrote this second book. I moved to Las Vegas in November of 2023. So I split my time between Vegas and LA. And this book came out February of 2025. We got the USA Today's bestseller list, number 50. And we just keep cruising right along.
So you moved to Vegas? I didn't know you moved to Vegas.
Yeah. So I split my time. Really, I split my time between like Vegas, LA. I spent a lot of time in Nashville. I was just in Nashville last week.
Yeah, I know Nashville is big for the speaking, right?
Yeah, speaking. I do a lot of training and learning there. I actually was on a panel discussion last Thursday, and then training on Thursday and Friday. So yeah. So I kind of hop between like a little loop.
So how do you feel about your journey so far? From you say you started from you was working at Marriott, so from Marriott to USA Today, author, speaker,
Yeah,
all that good stuff. You was producing too. I know you was DJing, but you used to produce some too with the remixes.
I
The
used to do a
Starter
lot of
Jacket remix.
I love doing remixes. I just Starter Jacket remix. That's kind of on hiatus now because I can't do it all. But it's been an interesting journey with lots of windy roads and things. But I'm quite happy as to where I am now. Just want to keep going. Learn a lot of lessons along the way. But writing books is not easy. So this one took a lot out of me. So I'm just trying to recover while promoting it and then doing more speaking. And then, of course, I love being a professor.
So how are you able to, like, to me it's like you're almost like, it's not reinventing because I think you're adding, but at the same time you are recreating yourself each time. So how do you feel like like you keep adding to your toolbox and adding more skills? And
yeah, I think adding to your toolbox is important, and you can't do everything. So like I find myself nowadays probably doing less DJing. Like I used to stream a lot on Twitch, especially during the pandemic for like 3-4 years in a row, hit it hard with like the game shows, the DJ sets, the award shows. But then I had to really focus and cut out some other things and really focus on releasing the book, finishing the book, releasing it. Now we're trying to make the book into a documentary. And then I'm also being a professor, so I really have to kind of narrow my focus. I can't do it all. I'll still DJ probably once or twice a month out and about, and I'll do corporate events. And I don't really I live stream once a week, which is plenty. Like I do that live streaming podcast earlier today. So, but I don't do as much on like Twitch or stuff like that because I just really had to kind of bring things in and really, really focus. So I have the skill set. I can always do it, but really focus right now is on the promoting the book, getting the book in front of directors to agree to turn it into a documentary, and then professoring and things and then promoting the current book.
Yeah, they were saying even with Twitch, I know it seems like, from my point of view, it seems like a lot of DJs are not on Twitch anymore.
I think
I don't know if there's a reason behind that.
I just think that a lot of people are out in the open, and we're outside. It's also significantly harder. It's a little bit harder to make money on Twitch than it used to be back in the day because there's less, DJs there, probably less people spending money. They're also taking more of the share of your subscription revenue too, with the new deal with the record labels. But it's still a legitimate platform. Some DJs also stream on TikTok, but that could be very volatile also. So it just evolves, and you got to evolve with the times. You can't really do the same things you were doing in 2020, excuse me, now because we're 5 years in. But it's still like a legitimate platform to set up a presence, build your audience, practice, collaborate with other DJs. I think the volume for DJ specific is probably down a little bit.
Yeah, there was also another thing, a change that's happening with Twitch is it's not like it's going from gaming to in real life. That's a new thing called in real life. So there's a lot of people doing that. Like the gaming is not as much no more, but the in real life, and they got the backpacks now.
Yeah,
all of them doing that now. Like everybody want to be Casanat or Flatboy Max or DDG. Everybody try to be like them now. So.
Yeah, the IRL streams are becoming more popular. You got competitors now with like Kick or whatever.
Yep.
So the landscape is changing. Even YouTube, I'm a fan of YouTube. I think that's the platform that will stick through the long term. They continue to make updates to their live streaming platform and their overall suite of services. So you just got to watch and see, but you can't do it all. So you got to pick and choose.
Yeah, I like YouTube too, because I feel like if I pass away, at least I know it's on YouTube, unless something happens to YouTube. But it seems like it's kind of solid unless somebody try to copyright your stuff and take it down. But besides that, you're gonna live forever on YouTube.
Yeah.
So we can go back to the book. I just want to talk about the beginning and what really motivated you to write the book. And the book's called Quiet Storm.
Yeah. This is the book right here. So it's called The Quiet Storm: A Historical and Cultural Analysis of the Power, Passion, and Pain of R&B Groups. We take
I'm
you
gonna
through.
say I probably gotta go buy the book too, because I just got the Audible, so I probably gotta buy the paperback just to get it.
Yeah, because when in the paperback you're missing some of the good stuff. Like, let me show you. You're missing you got like some of the photos that are in there, the groups.
Okay.
You got the charts. You got my little guy like right there with all the billboard. It's a lot of information, visual information that you got to get or whatever too. So and it's like a good coffee table book. I mean, like, I love this photo right here. Where's this photo of like the Gap Band? Just all these old school photos that are not really public. I had to dig into archives and find the photos and everything. And so that was one stage of the book. But this book came from the thesis at grad school. My thesis was why there are no longer any Black R&B groups. Quickly into my research, 99.5% of all R&B groups are Black anyways. So we just take the whole category, and then we go through each decade, starting in the 50s all the way to the 2000s, the top 10 or 11 R&B groups, their Billboard Hot 100 hits, Grammy nominations, Grammy wins, little history about the group, some fun facts, some stories. Then I give you my favorite 3 songs from each group, my favorite 3 samples that each group have done, and I talk about the group and kind of what I know, what they might mean to me, what I discovered. So we do that for 67 different groups throughout 6 decades. And then the last 20% is the research from my thesis, what happened to the groups, why they disappear, and what's going to happen next. And that's the book,
Yeah.
510 pages later.
Then what was your grade on your thesis?
Oh, I got an A perfect, not a perfect score,
A+?
but I got an A+. Yeah, very good score. Yeah.
Then how much like man hours would you say you spent like researching, writing,
Right.
doing the audio part? How much?
Oh yeah. 4.5 years total. 4.5 years between start to finish, with some gaps in the middle just because you get stuck or whatever. 4.5 years. It's a very intense and long process, but I was able to see it through. It's big accomplishment.
Yeah, I would say actually, to me, I view it as a piece of history, because I don't know too many. I don't know anything like what you just did. I don't know anybody that broke down the history how you did from the start. You started from like the 60s, right?
50s, even the 50s. Yeah.
So I don't know nobody. You did it from the 50s all the way till you did like 2010.
Yeah, like to mid 2000s, because by the time Destiny's Child went on their way to pursue solo careers, that was a wrap. Everything fell off after that. Yeah, some groups, and on a purpose, I included Outkast as an R&B group because they switched from primarily
I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, to Outkast. Then you had like some other groups like Danity Kane. So you could tell already in the 2000s it was getting kind of thin.
It was falling off.
It was falling off. So that's on purpose. I put those groups in there just to show you. And then after Destiny's Child all went solo, that was a wrap. And it was a sudden change too, because I had one study where if you look at like, I think it was the mid 90s, 1997, a week in like July of 1997. And I think 12 of the top 20 songs on the Billboard Hot 100 charts, which is the main charts that have every genre in it, 12 of the 20 songs were R&B groups. If you fast forward 10 years later, or no, 7 years later, I think it was down to like 1 or 2. And then from there, rarely will you see a group. Only like when Silk Sonic came out, they hit it pretty hard and did well. But if you think about the groups like a TLC, a Boys to Men, Kool and the Gang, the Commodores, like all these groups that were really, really big, they dominated decades. The Temptations, the Supremes, they were constantly on the charts for decades. Now we'd be lucky if we get an R&B group even enter the Hot 100, let alone the top 20.
Yeah, I would say I didn't know how to. The Silk Sonic, I liked it, but at the same time, I was like, I didn't know if they were trying to be like funny, because with the videos, it's kind of like comedic vibe to it. Yeah, so I was like, are they just doing a parody of how they think it's supposed to sound, or are they really like doing it for real? So I was kind of, I like the music though, but I was just on the fence for it. And then it's like they're both not even Black so far, so it's kind of like, are they making fun of it, or what are they trying to do with it? So I was kind of on the fence.
Yeah, they couldn't. I mean, they lasted one album. Now they don't even work together because of creative differences. That's what the word is. So we didn't realize how good R&B fans and R&B group fans had it when we were in its heyday.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then so now, is there anybody like new that's not in your book that you listen to, like new cats
So
that came out
Flo,
like say like 2010 and beyond?
so I say like Flo, I think they're out of the UK. They're female group, so they're doing well. This other group, I think their name is Century. I think it's spelled with the S. I like some of the stuff they're doing. Chloe and Haley, they do some good stuff together. And in terms of groups, that might be it. Like, Jagged Edge has a new single that's doing pretty well, on like R&B stations, particularly Sirius XM. But the pickings is kind of slim.
I know they keep teasing. I know Boys II Men, like Wanye got like a group, but I haven't seen any of their music, so I don't know. But I know he been teasing that group for a while.
Yeah, because his son is in the group. So
Right.
his son's in the group. So they're doing well. I'm just waiting for them to hit more mainstream, but they're kind of percolating too. So we'll see. There'll be others that will pop up here and there. I just want to see someone with some long-standing success. So we got to help them get there too.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. So then about the book. So the thing I like the most, because, like I said, you're a lot of these people, like, you're bringing them up, so they're gonna live on. A lot of these people, like, not like, because some of them are not like the famous people, yeah, but some of the other groups that's not as famous, like, okay. So that's the part I like too. And then I like how you had it where the samples, because I'm hip hop head, so that was actually my favorite part. And I was like, how did you? So you had to research each song and get the samples?
Yeah. So I did that. I had a resource. The website, it's called whosampled.com.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I used that one to kind of cross-reference. Some of the groups I knew what the samples were, others I didn't. So I learned a lot about samples just by researching to see who sampled it. Oh, I recognize that song. Let me listen to it. That's part of the 4.5 years of research. Like, that was hard. And then you got to verify it and stuff. So once people really get the book and see all the parts that were a part of it, they'll be like, wow, like, it's really hard to duplicate. No book has really been written like this before, particularly about R&B groups. Of course, we want more, but that's why I think the book has like a long tail where it can last for a long time. I just have to keep promoting it, getting people to discover it, hopefully get into some of the artists' hands who are in the book. They can promote. That's like the next step. That's part of the PR along with the documentary. So this is just the start of the process.
Yeah, and then even like to me, like the reader, like you said, it took you 4 years to write it. I feel like it might take me 4 years to read it all, because like how I was trying to do it, it was going to take me way too long, because I was trying to do it where after each chapter I go to the music, but then I'll probably just get lost in the music and won't go back to the book. So I was like, well, let me listen to chapters, but it still has me where I be wanting to go listen to the music. So it's like it's hard to listen to it straight through without wanting to go listen to the songs.
Once you get the book, you get QR codes. It has the playlist from my favorite songs and my favorite samples on YouTube and Spotify. So you can just scan. Actually, I'll email this to you. You can share it with everyone. You can scan the QR codes and it'll get you on the playlist for each platform, just Spotify and YouTube. That way you can listen and see the songs and everything.
All right, for sure. And then my favorite thing so far, it was like, man, I mean, I knew this already, but I guess I was just like, I didn't know, but I did know, was the Isley Brothers.
Oh, yes. They're my favorite. I think you saw that clip when I was on the news talking about the book. And I said, they're one of the only, I think they're the only group in history to have hits in 6 straight decades, from the 50s to the 2000s. That's amazing.
And that's why I was like, wow. And then I was like, he was like, go listen to their whole discography. So I need to do that, but I want to do that like when I'm riding. So I want
to Isley Brothers they're amazing. They're one of my favorite groups I discovered. The Whispers are another one. There's a lot of groups that I discovered even more about during the research that I fell in love with them even more.
Yep. And then even now, so like I was saying, I think how you doing now with the facts on social media, I think that's a good way to promote it and everything. So
yeah.
But then I think, like you were saying, I think once we get into the artist's hands, because they should want somebody telling their story, so they should be behind it.
Yeah, it's just getting to the right people, getting to them. They're hard to find, hard to get to. It takes time. Hopefully once we get the documentary sorted out, we have someone who specializes in doing research, so they can reach out to say, okay, the Isaac Brothers, we have this book we're doing a documentary on. We've got Netflix signed up. We'd love to interview you for the book. And that's a good way where they'll pay attention. Right now, they're not going to pay attention to me. I'm just a DJ, professor, author, so they don't really know me. But once they hear the words Netflix or Amazon Prime or even Apple TV that's behind it and directors, then they'll pay attention. Like, whoa, let's pay attention. So that's the slow burn process that's going on right now.
And what if they hear Tubi?
Tubi would work too. I mean, but I prefer one of the top streamers. But we can get to Tubi later too.
Yeah, I would say it seems like everybody can get on Tubi and Roku. So I'm messing with you though anyway. But no, I mean it's like it shouldn't have to be like that. But you're right. But it shouldn't have to be like that because, like you said, the book should speak for itself when they listen to that book. But
yeah, I mean, the fact that it made the USA Today bestseller list is a big, big deal. So that will add to the credibility. So they know it's like a legit book. It's been on the charts. So that helps. Now it's just getting to the right people through their management that can help. And that's a never ending process.
And then, so what are you doing on your book tour?
So book tour, any city that I'm traveling to, regardless. Like, for example, I was going to Atlanta to speak to the National Speakers Association, the Georgia chapter. I was their guest speaker for one of their meetings. So I set up a book event after that was over. So I'm already going to be there. So that's fine. Then I went to St. Louis because I was working a conference. I was being paid to speak and moderate conversations there. So on the front end of that conference, I set up a book event with a local store. Then when I went back to DC to visit family, I hadn't been in a year. I had family that set up an event in Baltimore, Morgan State. I set up one in DC near Howard, did that. Then going to Phoenix later this week. I set up one for Sunday evening in Phoenix. And so I'm going to Miami for like an old work reunion. So we're going to set up a book event in Miami. So any city I'm going to, I think I'm going to Austin, Texas in November. I'm going to set something up there. I'll collaborate with other authors, other nonprofits. So if I'm traveling to the city anyways, I'll try to set up a book event. It can be 5 people there. It can be 35, 50 people there. But slowly but surely, just keep talking about the book, spreading the word like grassroots.
Mm. And then are you still promoting the DJ Means Business book, or are you just on the Quiet Storm now?
So I'm just on the Quiet Storm now, but I learned, particularly when I was in DC, people like, oh, I wanted to buy your first book too. So I need to bring that book with me and also promote that kind of, say I also have my first book available for sale too. That was something I slipped up on in DC, but I learned my lesson there.
So are you going to make any more books, or are you just going to focus on getting the documentary out?
This one took a lot out of me, so I'm gonna stay with this.
I saw you just did a deep breath in the side right there.
Yeah, this one took a lot. So I have a title for another one, maybe, but it's more about like creativity and unlocking your creativity using the stories from this book. That can be a third one, but for now, I'm gonna let this one kind of ride and just write it out, and we'll see how and when I get inspired for a third one. But this one was a lot of work.
All right, this was up. And then what's your favorite? Have you seen any of those people live that you wrote about? Who would be your favorite live performance that you saw from them?
Back in the day, SWV I saw live. I haven't seen, let me think here. No, more singular artists than groups. Drew Hill, I think they were part of a bill I saw. But like I've seen Babyface twice since I've been here in Vegas. I've seen Mariah Carey once. I want to see the Isaac Brothers when they come back. They're on my list. They'll be back soon. So as I can find them out in the wild, I'll go see them now. But I hadn't really seen many of them. I'm trying to think. No, not too many. New Edition I've seen a couple times here. Jodeci I saw one time. So I'm just trying to add to that list.
Mm-hmm. And then I know you're a Mariah fan. So how do you feel about her career, like the past couple of years, how she been doing with her career and her music?
I'm a Mariah Carey stan. She just released a new single, which got a great Eric B. and Rakim sample.
I like it.
So she's still putting out music. She got her loyal fans. I think one day soon she's probably gonna do a standards album where she sings a lot of classic songs that she might not have covered, and that'll be interesting. I think she's still she's been on a bunch of remixes. She was on the Lotto remix, and she sang a remix with Money Long. So she's still got some tracks. She's still there doing well. It kind of makes me mad when people only think of her for Christmas song, but she's got such a deep discography. She's doing well. So I know as you get older, you have to evolve and change, and your voice doesn't stay the same. But she's doing well. You know, she's got her lane, and I want to do a standards album. I think that'd be a good move for her.
Yeah, my favorite thing about Mariah is I just love how she always incorporated hip hop in her music. Like always since the beginning, she always, and that's why like even when I heard the Rakim, I was like, okay. And then I had forgot when Fat Man Scoop died, I forgot about that song. I was like, oh yeah, that too. Then even you know back in the day, she had the songs with the Mace and the Locks, ODB, the Brat.
Like she's had Jay-Z, she's had tons and tons of hits. She's always been in her first album. They kind of tried to keep her away from hip hop, but very soon after, she had a song with the Bones Thugs and Harmony. Snoop,
that breakdown.
Snoop. Like she's got them all, and so she just keeps working it. So just go ahead. You know, Busta, that song. You know, when she's singing background, like that's a classic song right there.
Oh so, baby, if you give it to me,
yeah. So. Just keep on keeping on. I'm a fan. I got your back.
All right, and then the music business. All right, and then what's how do you feel about the state of the music business right now from when we started, say 2008 till now? It was almost
they viewed 2008 it was like the wild wild west with streaming and all that, and like iTunes and all that, and you know it continues to be the wild wild west with like AI now. That's kind of, I want to say that's the work I do. My why is to close the knowledge gap between artists and the music industry. There's so many artists out here that don't understand music business, and they're making decisions based on a lack of knowledge. And that's just a problem. So like I teach music business. I created the course music business at Cal State University of Fullerton. Now it's a music business minor. I have my own music business coaching program. We just had a beta program over the summer. And so, you know, I'll tell you, you know, if you know anyone who's an artist that wants to make better business decisions, you know, they should send them to me. Or if you know someone who is a full-time professional, but they have music on the side that they want to monetize and create a legacy for their family, send them to me so I can help them make decisions, coach them, put things in action. I just started to work now, a Grammy-nominated singer. She's also an aerospace engineer, and we're helping her monetize her music, get it synced, organize it, all that. So in terms of the music business, there's just a huge gap in education. It's my role and why to fill that gap through training, one-on-one coaching, group coaching, articles, all of that. And that's what I'm here to do. And that's what I really, really am focused on working on now.
That's what's up. And then when did you start getting into the music business like that? Or you always started studying?
Always, but once I went to grad school, like 5-6 years ago, that really accelerated my knowledge. I had already been teaching about it in school already since like 7-8 years ago. Working in the music industry as a DJ, I saw a lot, learned a lot, exposure to a lot. So I already knew. Now my knowledge base just continues to increase. Now the fact that I've written a book about the music industry.
I know you're an expert now.
I don't know about expert, but I'm kind of, you
up there.
Yes, I'm learning a lot.
Especially like I was gonna say, because I remember I don't know if you're still doing it, but I know you was giving the business tips on your page.
Yeah. The videos
were solid. Like they were solid. Like even for me, some of that stuff was like, okay, that's good to know.
I gotta keep posting those. Now I primarily post the tips from the book. I gotta mix in the business one too. But yeah, the videos and everything. Yeah, I have some sitting here ready to do about metadata. But there's so much information to share. And it's like so little time. Like I had my summer cohort of my students, and we were talking about fan to artist communication. So your goal is that you don't want to put too much stock into your social media followers. You really want to collect your fans' email addresses so you can have direct contact with them through a newsletter, through specials. Then you want to add on to that to get their cell phone numbers. So then you can be texting them things. There's a platform that I've fallen in love with that I was exposed to with my students called Laylo, where they can help you capture both of those things so that if you got a new album coming out, you have your email list. It'll shoot out an email. People that opted in for the text message, it'll send them a text message because you'll see your text messages, so you'll know what's going on. You might see your email. But most of the artists that I'm working with have not activated that. And we can't think or talk about like the top 1%. The top 1% of artists have people doing all this for them. But what about the other 98% of people who are trying to make it, but just don't have the knowledge and just don't know? Because you don't need to have 100 million fans. If you had 1,000 fans spending $100 a year on you, that's going to get you to $100,000 a year in earnings. That's pretty good. And then you start to build from that, and it can be really, really a stable income, a stable lifestyle. The 1,000 True Fans comes from the Kevin Kelly kind of article, his philosophy, and it works great for the music industry. So these are just some of the things we're teaching. We talked about merchandise, marketing. It was funny. Every student that was in my class, one of their top requests was, how do I market myself and my music? It's just at the top of the list for all the musicians out there because there's so much noise.
Then I would say, especially like, I think like, especially if I was like someone that just started, or they're like a young or kid, they should be like follow everything you're saying. And I think they'll be right off, because a lot of people, like you said, they don't know anything about the business. But some of them be like, they're naive and they don't even want to learn. That's the problem. Yeah. You got some that don't want to learn nothing. They just want to, oh, I'm just doing the music. And that's how it gets messed up.
Well, they don't want to learn until they get approached to put one of their songs in a movie or a commercial, and they see a $250,000 check that could be theirs, but they need to know, do you have any samples in the song? Have they been cleared? Who are your co-writers? Who owns the publishing? Who are we sending the money to? And it is at that moment that they're like, uh-oh, I need to know this. Because if you know that, you get approached to put a placement in a for a synchronization license, which puts the music in movies, TV shows, commercials, video games. You need to have that stuff to send it to the music supervisor, or nowadays mostly send it to a sync agent who works with a music supervisor. You need to have your stuff tied, because if someone syncs something and then they find out that there's an unreleased or uncleared sample, that's it. Your reputation is done, because then they have to pay fines and all sorts of stuff. But people don't know that. They make this music, they have these samples, they don't clear it. So that's a whole nother word. But you're right. Like, people can be naive until they get an opportunity to put their music somewhere and they see a large potential payday. Then they're like, uh-oh, I should have learned this before, and they didn't know.
And then another thing I've been telling people is, like, I'm noticing myself, this is what I know. Music is just a vehicle. The music is just to get you to the masses. And then when you get to the masses, you need to have a product or a service to sell with the music. Because nowadays, well, nowadays I hear music don't even make you money like that no more. You know what I'm saying? So I know there's a lot of people, like, remember Rick Ross? He got into music. He started doing Wingstop, everything else. 50 Cent. 50 Cent, Vitamin Water, took off. Now he doing movies. He ain't even doing that no more. Snoop do everything he can get his hands on. So that's why I be trying to tell people, I was like, even if you are just doing the music, what else? Like, you got to be ready for that. Okay, I got the music, get the shirt. You know what I'm saying? What you got behind that with just not just the music, but they don't understand that part of either.
No, you got to have like your merch. First of all, the way artists make money now, primarily in the short term, is touring. You go on tour, you make your money. While you're on tour, you sell your merch. Next, what you could make money from, you're not going to make it from streaming, is like album sales, record sales, maybe. Then you get sponsorships, you get sponsors and things like that you can do. Then you have a little segment, which is like sync, which is placing your music. It might not be for $10,000, $20,000, but if you get a $1,000 sync here, a $3,000 here, that's another way you get money. Then you have these fan to artist direct platforms. Patreon is obviously the biggest one. You create yourself a Patreon, you get certain people to subscribe to certain levels, maybe getting $1,000, $2,000 a month.
So OnlyFans was the biggest one.
Well, I'm trying to keep it PG. You know, if you want to do OnlyFans too, you could do that. That works. But I'm thinking about just mostly, PG stuff.
All right.
Yeah. So then that's the Patreon platforms. But then you keep adding up all these different revenue sources. Then if you get your music played on like these internet services like Sirius XM, iHeartRadio, Pandora, what are you doing to collect your digital performance royalties? First in the US. But then who have you partnered with to help you collect your digital performance royalties overseas? If your music is popping over in the UK, Holland, Australia, you're owed royalties. Who's collecting that for you? Some people have no idea that they could have money out there sitting there waiting for them. It might be a lot, it might not, but at least you can track it so that if one of your songs happens to pop off, especially on TikTok or somewhere, you get some money. So it's just so many people just don't know. I don't want to say it's basic because it's complex, but if you can set up a strong foundation where you got all your stuff in the right place and you're collecting it, then you can focus on your tour, make your merch, engage with your fans on your Patreon platform, and that's how you make it work.
Yeah, I want to ask you about this subject. So Timberland is got a lot of flack because he put out an AI artist. But when he put out the AI artist, he has a whole team behind the artist. Like he has a writer, he has a producer, he has all this, everything, basically it's just the artist is just the face, but he has people behind it. But a lot of people, they got upset about it. They said he's taking the music that they were sending him for submissions because he had a show on Twitch. They said he's getting that. Why you couldn't use any of those artists on there? And then blah, blah, blah. So what's your opinion on that situation?
So when we look at that, because he's doing that with Suno, right? SUN, that's kind of, he's on the board of the investor of Suno, which is a app where you can write some lyrics and say, I have this song, I want it to be a ballad, I want it to sound like a Luther Vandross song. And it will crank out someone singing it just like Luther. So, and I think he's an investor in that platform. And so I think this is actually a symptom of bigger issue, which comes to like AI artists and how AI artists are starting to take over the streaming numbers from real artists. So actually AI artists, some of them are starting to stream more than normal artists, and that's taking away potential money from regular artists. I'm of the belief that music should come from humans should perform it, and that there's no way that you can get an AI artist to sing about heartbreak if they haven't been left at the altar, they haven't been divorced, they haven't been broken up with, they haven't lost a family member suddenly. There's no way you can have an AI artist to sing about heartbreak if they haven't been through those things. In addition, some of the best parts of songs are the imperfections. If someone's singing a certain key and they maybe break to a half a step below, or a half step above or above in the middle of the song, like, unless you really program the AI to do that, that's not going to happen. But the imperfections is actually where the beautiful music is, because what we once view as imperfection is now could be considered a whole style. I think if you remember how Jimi Hendrix used to play the guitar, people used to hate that. They're like, you're not playing it the right way. You're doing something crazy. Now we view him as a legend. Even someone like Ashante Moore, she has a great whistle tone. She sings and she can whistle amazingly. But it just happens to come and go as she needs it. I don't know if you can get an AI artist to really sing like that at the right time, for the right amount of time in a song like that. So there's certain things that real artists do on purpose or not on purpose that are imperfections that we come to love, that I don't believe that AI artists will ever be able to duplicate like a human.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, when you was talking about the songwriting, I'm saying the real person is writing the song.
Yeah.
And then they giving it to the AI. So that's how you saying the pain and stuff. It's a real person writing all that.
Yeah,
I think the voice is the AI part.
Yeah, the voicing and performing it.
I was gonna tell you too, another thing, because I be using it, so I know. But it was saying you can't like you said Luther Vandross, you can't put anybody's name. If you put someone's name, it blocks it.
Yeah.
So you gotta get creative. You have to be like, so say if I want to sound like Hall & Oates, I gotta be like Yacht Club, Beach Music. You can't say you can't say their name.
Or soul ballad singing by a male tenor voice, things like that you would emulate, just describe exactly what the singer is, and it would come out like that. But that's just my opinion. I think that musicians nowadays need to figure out how to use AI as a tool, but in terms of how they have AI artists, I'm not a fan.
Yeah. Then I was looking at it too. Another thing was I was looking at how some people were saying like they got a disability. So like I know Beanie Siegel, the rapper, he lost his voice. So he's using AI with his real voice to do it again. Like DOC, people like that. Like, what about them people that have disabilities and they got the music in them, but they, like I said, voice can't talk or, stuff like that. So then I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't know. It's a slippery slope.
It is a slippery slope. Someone like the DLC or Beanie Siegel, I mean, if they're giving permission to use their voice and they're working with, that's probably the good side of the slippery slope. But when people are like, I want you to make me sound like this, and they're putting the lyrics in, I got a problem with that. But as the legislation comes out, we'll see. But it was funny. I was doing the panel discussion last Thursday in Nashville, and this was one of the questions that came up. What is, ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC? What do you think about what they're doing in terms of AI? It's a hot issue in the music industry. I mean, it's front and center. What if an AI artist wins a Grammy? Billboard had an article about that just the other day. Like, that
No,
would be
because
something.
I ain't gonna lie. So what happened? I had noticed, man. I was looking at the Timberland thing, and then they was talking about it's some country group. I forgot the name of the country group, but it's some country group. And they getting like millions of streams.
Yeah,
I
that's
said,
the
forget
point.
it. So
Yeah.
that's what I said. So I had made music before. Then I said, forget it. I had just I had like did everything stuff I did AI on my voice, but I wrote it and all that stuff. But I had AI do my voice. And then my friend, I had a producer friend. Man, I've been sending his music out for like 5 years, bro. Like straight up, sending it out to people. No one using it. So I was like, bro, you want to just give me your beats and I'll put it over some AI shit? And he was like, well, why not? And I was like, all right. So we put out a project, like it's all his beats, but we put the AI over it rapping. And I said the reason we did that because we've been waiting 5 years to get a rapper to rap on his beats. So do we supposed to just keep waiting on someone to rap on it or take advantage of technology? You know what I'm saying? So I would look at it like, and then like I said, now I'm just like, well, I'm just having fun with it and I'm just gonna do what it do. But I'm not really trying to, you know me, I'm not, to me, it's just a creative outlet. I just look at it like kind of like making a mixtape.
Yeah.
I look at it like that, but at the same time, I've been having people hit me up now, like, "Hey man, I like this. This is you." And I'm like, "Shit." So now I'm like, I'm like, it's somewhat me, not really, but yeah, it's me, I guess.
Because the chickens are gonna come up the roost when it's time to perform it live.
Yeah.
When it's time to perform it live, then all truth will be seen.
That's why I said they were gonna be like Milli Vanilli.
See, they were ahead of their time, but that's the thing. People can support a streaming artist up until a point, but then when it comes time to tour, they want to see you in person. They want you to be sitting there like Fantasia, barefoot, singing to me, and you can't do that. Then like, oh, okay, it's a fraud.
But then I noticed too. So I've been like just studying this field now, and I noticed Kanye came out with that I think it was World War III album. He did that whole thing AI. It wasn't none of his voice in AI. And then I was like, if Timberland using it, if Kanye using it, man, you know how many people using this shit? Because it's so easy. And like I said, you can have it now. You can just have it copy your voice. And then if you copy your voice, you don't gonna know who's who. Because like you said, if it's just copying their voice, like if it's Kanye's like, well, the thing about Kanye, how he did it, it was so, he must just use the first version of it because it was so bad where you obviously know it's AI. But if it was somebody that really, like, it was really Kanye's voice, how would you know the difference? And then he could just get up there and perform it. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't know he did that album AI or not because it's his voice. So it's getting to where you're not going to be able to know anyway.
Yeah. But then he probably could pull it off by performing it, but it won't be his voice. But I would say the majority of artists would struggle if they have someone doing AI for their vocals or their lyrics. It would be tougher for them to do it live when they don't have the assistance of the AI to work with their track.
Well, and then like how people are doing now, they just throw auto-tune on everything. So that would be the little cheat code, throw auto-tune on it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, people be cheating, man. I just be watching, but I was like, it's getting, that's why I was wondering how you feel about it, but it's going, I mean, it's like I said, I see it's growing, and it's getting crazy.
It's
they
growing,
get on Timberland.
They should, but I'm all for, okay, let's see you sing live with no track, and let's just watch. I'm gonna see with my own eyes, no auto tune. Let's just see you rap or sing live, just an acoustic set, and let's see how you do. And if you do well with that, then I'll become a true fan. But until then, I'm gonna reserve my judgment.
That's what's up. All right. So what else going on in your world? You still in the soccer? I remember back in the day you went going to the World Cup.
Yeah. So in terms of playing soccer, once I moved to Vegas, I stopped that to protect my legs. My hamstrings were bad. So no more soccer, although I still love the sport and go watch. I just went to a game when I was in Nashville, and we're preparing for the World Cup next year. So I'm still a fan. I love it. I grew up in soccer. I just don't play it as much in person.
And then I know they be asking who you like, who's your favorite soccer player?
Oh, now Mbappe from France. I love the way he plays. So he would probably be my favorite right now. I love our guy from the U.S. too. His name is escaping me. Christian Polchik. I think I said his last name right. I love him. Those are my two tops now, and I'm always looking to see who the new players are. But those are my two tops right now.
And then I mean, we met through Madden gaming. You still be gaming?
Oh yes. I play MLB The Show. So I play baseball. I have my league. We do a little bit of like fantasy drafting. Like you draft a team, and then you can add you have 4 rounds of drafts where you can add different players from teams that weren't drafted to your team. So I get into that. That kind of helps me decompress, some fun. So I have like my fantasy team, and I'm adding players, and you can trade and stuff. So it kind of creates some excitement outside of work. So I like that. So MLB The Show, that's my game.
Yeah, I'm in a lot of simulation leagues now, so we don't even play. We just make our player and build them up, and then watch them play. Because it's a football league I'm in now, where we we get our team. It's real. So every player, like say we got 30 players on team, it's 30 real people, and each week we upgrade our player how we want. And then I'm a coach, so I put in the plays, defense play, offense plays. The other team does that. Then on the weekend, we got announcers, real announcers. We got a commissioner. We got statisticians. They watching the game and they be talking about it. So I'm into that. Then we got basketball games like that now. I'm in the baseball games like that. So I'm on I don't play as much. Only thing I really play still is I played a boxing game a little bit. The new one came out, Undisputed. But besides that, I'm just doing simulations.
Yeah. I'll play the MLB The Show. So you just play the league. We have a pretty decent skill level, so sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but it's fun. And we grew up playing video games, so it's part of our life. So I like it. It's cool.
Yeah, we actually, the baseball league I'm in, we're doing a simulation, but we're playing with Super Mega Baseball. You heard of that one?
Vaguely, not too much information.
It's all right. It's kind of cartoonish, but it actually has like some of I guess they got to deal with the NHL, like the Hall of Fame. So it got like the older people. So it kind of like, I came up off that. Like I came off on RBI baseball.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that look.
Yeah.
I like
hardball, RBI
yeah,
baseball.
kind of remind me of that. Oh yeah. And then I know, I didn't download it yet, but everybody was going crazy because they said that Backyard Baseball's back.
Okay.
Did you play that?
No, I remember I grew up playing hardball. That was the game, and then it was like RBI baseball. There was another one. There was another one.
Bases Loaded.
Yeah, huh?
Bases Loaded.
Bases Loaded was on the Nintendo, Super Nintendo. And then I'm trying to think what happened. There was a couple others that came before, like MLB The Show. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you say you like that game?
MLB The Show, yeah. I like it. It's fun, good graphics, pretty good gameplay. The trading and creating your own team is the fun part because you're trading stuff, and that's probably as much fun as actually playing the games is building your team up.
Yeah, that's still my favorite part too. So you don't play Madden no more at all?
No more. Once they went to like the new generation, it wasn't as good.
Yeah, I'm in a Madden league, but I don't play it. I mean, always sometimes I get hyped, it'll get cheap and I'll buy it, but then once I start playing it, like I said, I don't like playing no more. I just like watching. So once I start playing and my hands start hurting, I don't even want to play no more.
Yeah.
I ain't even used to playing no more.
Yeah. So times are changing.
Yeah. Then what you say? What's next for you? What you going what's the plan after this?
So I think I'm working on 2 main things next. Turning the book into a documentary, it's the big project, and then growing my music business coaching program. Those are the 2 big kind of projects I'm working on now.
And then what's the name of your coaching program?
I call it the Resilient and Brilliant Collective. So if you take the first letter, R&B Collective, basically, it's just Resilient and Brilliant Collective. And I help out musicians of all genres just earn more money, activate all the revenue streams and earn more money. So if anyone's listening or watching and they want to talk to me, they can go to amaniexperience.com/call, CALL, set up a free call. And if you're a musician out there, I'll do an audit of what you got going on, give you some suggestions. And then we have 3 different tiers that they can join the community for one-on-one coaching twice a month. They can join the group coaching program and just get started working.
Is there ever some people you listen to and be like, you ain't got it, or you try to work with everybody?
I'd make some decisions. Like if I think they might need to work on their art first and then come back to me, I'll I'll give them a recommendation to kind of work on your tracks and your voice and then come back.
All right, so if Mr. Wrigley come to you, you ain't gonna take his music?
Yeah, I might not take his music. Yeah. I might not take his music, but if you fix it, improves it, then come back and see me. I got you.
What makes a good song to you? What's good music to you?
Music that's sung from the heart, the soul. It's got a good beat, some nice sing-along parts, or if not, it's got elements of the lyrics that really kind of catch my attention. Those are the 3 or 4 main things.
What's up? All right, man. And then just let them know again where we can check out the book.
So if they want to check out the book, they can go to thequietstormbook.com, or you can get it on your platforms like Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, wherever you get it. They can also order it from me directly if they want multiple copies through that link, thequietstormbook.com.
You say you're gonna send me the link too, and I'll make sure I put it in the
I'll send you the link to the book. I'll send you the PDF where you can get the QR codes too.
All right. Anything you want to leave the listeners with?
No, to reiterate, if people are out there, particularly musicians, and you're kind of stuck and you're looking for a way to kind of unlock your career and activate the revenue streams, hit me up. I'm here to help.
Oh, did you want to talk about the podcast you had? So
I have a podcast, Adventures in Business. We stream it live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. on the West. I have my co-host, Mandy Graziano. We do it together. We just celebrated 200 episodes in 3 years. So tune into that. It's also on Spotify, Apple, all the places you'd watch or listen to platforms, YouTube. So just take a listen, tune in, leave us a question, and appreciate the support.
All right, bro. Well, I want to say thank you. Come through Politickin with me again. Until the next time.
Yeah.
And then you wanted your social media and everything?
Oh, yeah. Social media, just at Amani Experience. So that's A, M as in Mary, A, N as in Nancy, I, the word experience. That's on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all the places. That's Amani Roberts on YouTube and Amani Roberts on LinkedIn, which I do a lot of work on there too.
What's your favorite platform you like using?
LinkedIn right now, because that's the business one. I like that one a lot. Yeah.
All right, y'all. We out. Until the next time. Make sure you check me out on PoPolitickin.
Yes. And thanks for having me.
I think I'll be here tomorrow, y'all. So make sure y'all check me out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Peace.
Thanks for having me over the years. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Thank you for being you, man. You're a great person.
Thank you for that.
I appreciate the grind and the hustle, man. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
Let me end this right quick. I'll be right back. Hold on right quick.
Okay.
The whole squad on the mission, you got to listen. We PoPolitickin, it's so dope when it kick in. You can get in where you fit in.